Well, actually, I see that Euroscepticism is rising, and we have not found yet the proper solutions to avoid that. So I do believe that Italy has to have political stability and very fast act to reforms, because you understand that the crisis and the way we dealt with it, and the migration crisis, the refugee crisis, are increasing the problem. We also have the MPLs that we have to solve. I see some connections to what happened to Greece. So two different parties, completely different, trying to have a coalition that is not pro-European as it seems. So I do believe that Germany should decide to have a more fair distribution of wealth in Europe, and this would help us avoid situations like that. So we're working towards that direction, but we still have a long way to go.
Eva, do you think the backlash we're seeing in Italy is a function of the years of austerity that was imposed by Germany, by France, by the IMF on a population that really couldn't stomach it? And what we're seeing today is a retaliation both in Greece and Italy and also in other countries in the Eurozone as well.
Well, of course, if you think that Italy and Greece, we are at the borders of EU, we have to protect the borders, we take the burden of the refugee and the migration crisis, mistakes of other countries' intervention in this, in our neighborhood. I do believe that we needed more support from Europe and more solidarity, but not solidarity like paying the countries to survive, basically distributing wealth in a fair way. If you have huge concentration in one member state that has clients, the south of Europe, you understand that this cannot be viable for too long, and then people will realize that we have the era of social media, everything is out there, we have information, and we don't have global solutions. So I do believe that's why we're here in OECD, trying to figure out if you could actually have global solutions into problems that are beyond our borders. We cannot expect countries like Italy and Greece solve themselves everything.
Do you find it difficult to be represent the pro-European stance in a country that a few years ago, take a few years back, was pushing forward a very Eurosceptic agenda, but of course then went back into place?
Well, basically, Greeks always liked and felt part of Europe. If you see, there's a contradiction. So we can criticize Europe, but this doesn't mean there is something better in this world. I do believe it's a miracle being able to work together, 28 member states, and have common values and try basically to help each member state by having more independent authorities, by protecting democracy and being there if somebody needs that. At the same time, I believe the recipe imposed by IMF and of course the failure of Europe to protect the member states a few years ago were just strict measures, austerity measures, instead of actual reforms. And these reforms, they had to happen at European level. We're struggling to get there. I think with the Brexit and the US elections, we realized we have to act more fast. But still, as I said, the huge concentration of wealth in specific countries that we are clients like buying armaments, and we have to protect the borders, and this is not shared equally. I do believe this created this huge problem that we face now, huge inequalities.
Hey everybody, it's Hadley Gamble from our new CNBC Middle East Bureau in Abu Dhabi. Thanks for stopping by. Now to watch more, you can try one of the videos that just popped up on your screen. And don't forget to subscribe.